Every trader dreams about that special day. The big breakthrough. The day everything finally starts to make sense. The moment when the charts stop looking confusing, when you stop fighting the market, and instead, you begin to move with it. That moment feels like success is finally within reach. But what many traders don't understand is this: before that moment ever arrives, there is a hidden stage that every successful trader must pass through. It's a stage most people never talk about. You won't see it clearly explained in trading courses, and it's rarely mentioned in motivational videos. This stage sits quietly between learning and mastery. It's dark, frustrating, and often lonely. It's the phase where nothing seems to work, no matter how hard you try. At the beginning, trading feels exciting and fresh. You learn about candlesticks, chart patterns, trading setups, and risk management. Everything feels new and full of promise. You imagine yourself making steady profits, living a free life, and proudly calling yourself a full-time trader. Then reality hits. You start trading with real money, and suddenly, everything changes. Your emotions take over. Every movement in the market feels personal, like the market is working against you. You begin to overthink every decision. You hesitate. You doubt yourself. Sometimes, you jump into trades without thinking. The problem isn't that you don't know what to do. The real problem is that you can't do it the same way every time. This is the hidden stage. The emotional valley between knowledge and discipline. You know enough to see what's possible, but you haven't yet built the mental strength to execute properly. Many traders mistake this stage for failure. They start telling themselves they're not good enough. They think trading just isn't for them. But the truth is, this stage is where every consistent trader is created. The hidden stage is tough. It feels cruel at times. You'll lose trades that look perfect. You'll leave a trade early, only to watch it hit your target after you exit. You'll feel angry, frustrated, and confused. You'll question everything you've learned. You'll start thinking maybe you need a new strategy. Maybe you need a new mentor. Maybe trading just isn't your path. But the real issue isn't your strategy. It's your mindset being tested. The market isn't pushing you away. It's shaping you. During this stage, your emotional strength is pushed to the limit. The market exposes every weakness you still carry: impatience, greed, fear, ego, doubt, and overconfidence. It's uncomfortable, but it's necessary. This isn't punishment. It's preparation. The profitable version of you doesn't exist yet. You are still becoming that person. Most people quit at this stage because it doesn't give quick rewards. You don't see progress in your account balance. You don't feel rewarded for doing the right thing. You can follow your plan perfectly and still lose money, while someone else wins by being careless. This creates a mental trap. Logic and results don't seem to match. That's where many traders lose hope and walk away. But the ones who stay, the ones who push through the confusion, are the ones who eventually find consistency. The hidden stage isn't about winning or losing money. It's about learning how to control your reactions. The market itself is neutral. It doesn't care about your feelings, your dreams, or your effort. It simply reflects how you handle uncertainty. At this stage, your biggest enemy isn't market volatility or fake breakouts. It's your need for certainty. You want fast results. You want proof that your hard work is paying off. But trading doesn't work on your timeline. It rewards patience, not pressure. This process is painful, but it's necessary. You may feel like you're not moving forward, but deep inside, your mind is changing. Your brain is slowly unlearning habits like gambling, chasing trades, and reacting emotionally. Each time you resist revenge trading, you train patience. Each time you accept a loss without breaking your rules, you build strength. You may not notice it yet, but you're improving in ways money can't measure. This hidden stage separates casual traders from serious ones. Amateurs keep switching strategies. Professionals work on themselves. Amateurs chase quick wins. Professionals focus on consistency. The traders who survive this stage stop asking, "When will I start winning?" and start asking, "How can I stay calm when I lose?" They stop trying to control the market and start controlling themselves. At some point, something changes. You hit a quiet moment. Not because the market got easier, but because you did. You stop reacting to every small movement. You stop chasing missed trades. You stop feeling the need to trade all the time. That's when you know you're close. Because the first real sign of growth in trading isn't more profit, it's more peace. You realize your emotions no longer control your actions. You're no longer addicted to chaos. You begin to trade with clarity instead of urgency. Before going further, ask yourself this: are fear, doubt, or overtrading holding you back? Most traders don't fail because of bad strategies. They fail because of poor psychology. Most traders don't notice the exact moment they move from chaos to calm. There's no big celebration. No dramatic win. It's quiet. One day, you open the charts, take a trade, manage your risk, and close it. Win or lose, you move on without emotional noise. That's the hidden stage ending. That's your transformation quietly completing itself. You stop caring so much about being right and start focusing on being consistent. Losses stop feeling like personal attacks. You understand that discipline isn't punishment, it's protection. You realize your real edge isn't your strategy. It's your mindset. Neutrality doesn't mean you don't care. It means you stop overreacting. You trade your plan, not your emotions. You accept that the market owes you nothing. That's when trading becomes less stressful and more strategic. The hidden stage is long, uncomfortable, and often painful. It's where shortcuts fail and where greatness is built. Every professional trader you admire went through this stage. They didn't skip it. They survived it. If you're in this stage right now, tired, frustrated, doubting yourself, understand this clearly: you are not failing. You are evolving. The market didn't change. You did. Your reactions are different now. You finally see that your old losses weren't caused by lack of skill, but by lack of emotional control. And that realization changes everything. This stage is invisible to others. They don't see your inner discipline. They don't see the silent battles you've won. But you know you're not the same trader anymore. You are more patient. More focused. More grounded. You've built something more valuable than profit: control. The hidden stage before profitability is like winter before spring. It feels cold and endless, but growth is happening beneath the surface. The market isn't punishing you. It's shaping you. This is the price of mastery. You can't skip it. You can only survive it. And once you do, you'll never see the market the same way again. Because when you master yourself, you master the game. One of the hardest truths you will face during this time is realizing that you don't control results. You only control your actions. You can't decide if your next trade will be a win or a loss, but you can decide if you will follow your rules properly. You can't control how far a candle moves, but you can control how much you let your emotions affect your decisions. Once this truth really sinks in, your whole way of trading begins to change. You stop judging yourself by profit or loss alone, and you start judging yourself by discipline. A losing trade where you followed your plan feels like progress. But a winning trade where you broke your rules feels like a mistake. This shift in thinking is what separates calm, consistent traders from emotional ones. You begin to understand that real progress doesn't always show in your account balance. It shows in how you react. You start staying calm even when the market moves against you. You don't feel the need to check your phone every few seconds anymore. You stop doubting every setup. You begin to trust the work you've already done. That calm doesn't mean you no longer feel emotions. It means you trust your process. The change happens quietly. There's no big celebration or sudden moment of success. You just notice that the chaos that once made you anxious now feels manageable. You can take a loss and still sleep well at night. You can take a win without feeling unstoppable or overconfident. You can wait patiently even when the market does nothing for hours. This balance between emotion and logic is where consistency slowly begins. You're no longer trading for excitement. You're trading to grow and improve. But this stage also challenges your ego. After small mistakes, you'll feel the urge to prove yourself. You'll feel tempted to make the market pay you back. Your ego will tell you that you're smarter than your plan. It will tell you that you can take more risks this time. That voice is dangerous. The moment you listen to it, you fall right back into the same old cycle. So you learn to quiet that voice. You learn to release control. You learn to trust your system instead of fighting it. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting your edge enough to stop interfering. It means accepting that not every trade will win, but every trade has something to teach you. It means caring less about being right and more about being consistent. This level of clarity doesn't come quickly. But once it arrives, trading starts to feel lighter and less stressful. You stop chasing money and start mastering your behavior. One of the biggest changes you'll notice is how you handle uncertainty. You stop seeing uncertainty as danger and start seeing it as part of trading. You understand that randomness is what creates opportunity. You stop trying to predict every move and start preparing instead. You don't need to know what will happen next. You only need to know what you'll do if it happens. That's the base of emotional control. When you stop reacting emotionally, trading becomes simple again. Not easy, but simple. You follow your plan. You execute it. You accept the outcome. The stress that once drained you slowly fades because you're no longer trying to force results. You realize trading doesn't have to feel like an emotional roller coaster. It becomes a game of probabilities, patience, and control. And then something deeper happens. You begin to notice how trading reflects your real life. You see that the impatience you show on the charts also appears in your relationships. Your need to control trades mirrors your need to control situations in daily life. The discipline you build in trading starts to affect everything else. You become calmer, more focused, and more aware. Trading stops being just about money. It starts shaping who you are as a person. That's why this hidden stage is so powerful. It's not only changing you as a trader, it's changing you as a human being. The more control you gain over your emotions here, the stronger your emotional intelligence becomes everywhere else. You stop overreacting to stress. Small problems don't throw you off balance as much anymore. You build patience, humility, and focus. These same traits that make you a consistent trader also make you stronger in life. You begin to notice that your need for instant results fades. You stop rushing trades. You stop feeling desperate to make money today. You understand that long-term consistency matters more than short-term excitement. You begin to enjoy the slow process because you finally see growth inside yourself. You realize discipline isn't a limitation, it's freedom. The more disciplined you become, the freer you feel. That's when trading starts to feel like art. You enjoy the process again, but this time with clarity instead of chaos. You look at the charts with curiosity, not fear. You don't try to control every move. You flow with the market instead. The same patterns that once scared you now feel familiar. Losses that once caused panic now feel normal. You're emotionally detached, but not disconnected. This stage also teaches you humility. You understand that no matter how skilled you become, the market can still surprise you. You stop trying to beat it and start learning how to adapt. You accept that even strong setups can fail. You respect risk, not as a barrier, but as guidance. This humility protects you from overconfidence and keeps you consistent. One day, you'll look back and realize this was the real turning point. The moment you stopped chasing profit and started building discipline, everything changed. You'll see that your growth didn't come from a new strategy, but from better psychology. You became profitable the moment you stopped chasing money and started mastering your emotions. Every trader wants freedom, but very few want to face the silence of this stage. The silence where nothing seems to work. The silence where you must control every impulse, even when it feels pointless. But if you survive this stage, if you stay disciplined when it feels useless, you build a foundation that no loss can destroy. Because once you learn how to stay calm in uncertainty, you've already won. The market will always change, but self-control stays with you forever. And when that happens, profit becomes a result, not a goal. You no longer trade to escape emotions. You trade from a place of peace. Every successful trader eventually reaches a stage that looks invisible from the outside. It's not loud. It's not exciting. It's calm and deeply personal. You finally understand that trading isn't something you do to the market. It's something you do to yourself. It reflects your patience, your fear, your ego, and your ability to stay calm when nothing feels certain. This is the final transformation. The hidden stage that separates those who succeed from those who quit too early. At this point, sitting in front of the charts feels peaceful. The tight feeling in your chest before entering a trade disappears. The urge to check your position every minute fades away. You stop reacting to every price move. You watch. You analyze. You wait. Like a hunter who has learned that patience brings better results than chasing, you realize your power isn't in prediction, it's in waiting. That calm wasn't free. It was built from every breakdown you had before. From nights spent staring at losses, wondering if you were meant for this. From blown accounts caused not by bad systems, but by emotional mistakes. Every setback stripped away ego and impulsiveness. Every loss taught you something deeper about yourself. Now, in this quiet place of understanding, you realize the market was never trying to destroy you. It was shaping you. This final stage is about emotional detachment, not cold or robotic, but balanced and human. You still feel emotions, but they no longer control you. You've learned to observe feelings without acting on them. You've separated who you are from your trading results. A loss doesn't define you. A win doesn't inflate you. And that's when real mastery begins. You've reached a place of neutrality, and that neutrality has become your strength. It's your hidden superpower. In this calm state, you start noticing something powerful. The same setups you once overthought now look clear and simple. The same market volatility that used to scare you now feels like opportunity. You're no longer overwhelmed by too much information because you've learned to trust your edge. You've taken enough trades, faced enough losses, and handled enough pressure to understand one thing clearly: as long as you follow your rules, the outcome does not define who you are. This trust gives you freedom. Real freedom. The kind that only comes after you've faced failure many times and still refuse to quit. At this stage, your mindset shifts. You move from needing to trade to choosing to trade. You no longer feel pressure to be in a trade all the time. You can sit out the entire day without feeling fear of missing out. You can skip a setup without feeling like you lost something important. You now understand that missing a trade is far better than taking a bad one. That simple realization changes everything. You begin to value your peace more than your profits. And strangely enough, that's exactly when your profits begin to grow. This is the level where real compounding starts. Not just money compounding, but mental compounding. Every disciplined decision builds on the last one. Each time you follow your rules, you strengthen the habits that make discipline easier next time. Each time you walk away instead of overtrading, you build emotional strength. Over time, your decisions stop feeling forced. They become natural. They become instinct. You start trading with calm confidence, not emotional urgency. At this stage, you also learn something many beginners misunderstand. Your job is not to make money every single day. Your real job is to execute your plan correctly, every single day. The moment you shift your focus from results to process, consistency finally appears. You stop worrying about whether a trade wins or loses. Instead, you care about whether you followed your plan. That shift completely changes how you feel. The pressure disappears. You start trading with clarity instead of fear. You notice that your reactions slow down. They become more thoughtful and controlled. When price spikes suddenly, you pause. When you feel the urge to move your stop loss because price is getting close, you take a breath. When the temptation comes to double your position after a loss, you let it pass. This ability to pause is what defines mastery. Because in that small space between impulse and action, that's where control lives. Every time you choose discipline at that moment, you grow stronger. You also begin to notice other traders around you who are still stuck in the cycle you escaped. They chase signals. They panic during drawdowns. They celebrate too early. They lose control. And you recognize their behavior because you've lived it before. You hear the frustration in their words, the hope in their voice, and the impatience in their decisions. But instead of judging them, you feel understanding. You know everyone must pass through this hidden stage. No one skips it. The traders who succeed are the ones who learn to endure it without breaking. Your relationship with money changes too. You stop seeing money as something to chase and start seeing it as a tool. You respect it more. That respect shows in how you manage risk. You stop taking trades that don't deserve your capital. You stop risking large percentages just because you feel confident. You begin thinking long-term. You understand that trading isn't about getting rich quickly. It's about staying in the game long enough for your edge to work. The traders who blow accounts usually don't have bad strategies. They simply can't protect themselves from their own emotions. In this phase, patience becomes your edge. You finally understand what less is more really means. You don't need 10 trades a day. You need 2 high-quality trades in a week. You stop trying to force the market to move for you. Instead, you align yourself with it. You wait for confirmation instead of guessing. You stay calm when others panic. You don't chase opportunities, you allow them to come to you. That calm, controlled energy is what creates consistency. You begin to see that the market rewards patience the same way life rewards discipline. You also redefine what success means. It's no longer about hitting profit targets. It's about mental growth. A successful day is one where you stay disciplined. A successful week is one where you followed your plan. A successful month is one where you didn't break your rules, even when it was tempting. Because of this, you begin to feel truly in control. Not of the market, but of yourself. That feeling is priceless. It's the peace every trader looks for but few ever find. Sometimes, the old emotions still try to return. Frustration. Greed. Fear. But now, you recognize them immediately. They no longer catch you by surprise. You see them clearly and choose how to respond. That's emotional intelligence, the highest skill in trading. It's not about never feeling fear or greed. It's about mastering your reaction to them. You built that mastery through repetition, patience, and failure. And now, it shows in everything you do. You finally understand why profitable traders seem so calm. It's not because they don't feel fear or greed. It's because they've learned not to obey those emotions. They've faced every feeling you can imagine, fear, doubt, anger, excitement, and learned that none of them change the truth. The truth is simple. Trading rewards discipline and punishes emotion. Once you truly understand this, you no longer need motivation to stay consistent. It becomes automatic. This is the hidden stage before profitability. The stage where your mindset grows faster than your account balance. Where lessons come before rewards. It's a quiet transformation. Invisible to others, but unforgettable to those who experience it. It's where you stop surviving and start thriving. You stop reacting and start executing. Trading stops feeling like emotional chaos and becomes a calm process based on probabilities. When you reach this stage, you've already passed the hardest part. The profits will come naturally. Not because the market changed, but because you did. You become someone who can handle uncertainty, manage emotions, and act with discipline even when nothing feels clear. That's real trading mastery. Calm. Patient. Focused. Free.